In this session, we shall learn what an external DTD is, and we shall also learn how to declare attributes inside a DTD. This is an example of internal DTD, which we've already discussed in the previous video. It's an internal DTD because we have declared DTD inside the XML file. To create an external DTD, we have to declare DTD in a separate file. Let's see how to do it. Let's try to create an external DTD for the same XML. For the same XML file. We'll select DTD, document type definition. Okay, we'll save it with a name external DTD, and the extension should be DTD. Okay, then let's see how to use that in this XML file. Let's comment this part. After that, to use that DTD in this XML file, we have to use the delimiter doc type again. Doc type. Next, what is the root element name? It is product details. Next, a keyword system. At last will be the external file name. It is external DTD. And one more thing, we have to change the attribute standalone's value to no, because we are using an external file. Let's save the file and try to validate the file. And the XML is valid. I hope this much is clear. Next, let's see how to declare an attribute inside DTD. Attribute gives us more information about an element, or more precisely, it defines a property of an element. An XML attribute is always in the form of name value pair. An element can have any number of unique attributes. And this is the syntax of the attribute inside a DTD, where it starts with a delimiter @list. Element name specifies the name of the element to which the attribute applies. Attribute name specifies the name of the attribute which is included in the included with the element name. Attribute type defines the type of the attributes. Attribute value and takes a fixed value that the attributes must define. Let's discuss more on attribute type and attribute value. This is a list of attribute values, where the first one, required. It means the attribute must always be included. Next, implied. The attribute does not have to be included. Next, fixed or default value. Here, the attribute must always have the default value that is specified. If the attribute is not physically added to the element tag in the XML document, the XML processor will behave as though the default value does exist. The first character of a default value can be any character except for these three. It can also be an entity reference. Next, the attribute types. There are three main attribute types: a string type, tokenized types, and enumerator types. First is the C data. C data stands for character data. That is, the text does not form markup. Let's see the example. Here, the element name is image, and it's an empty element. It means it doesn't have any content. Then the attributes are height and width. Let's see how they've declared it. @list, image, it's the element name, height is the attribute, C data, and required. Okay. Okay, these are the other two types of attributes. Please pause the video and go through the details. Okay, I've just added an attribute for product element as and the name is category. Let's see how to declare it in DTD. So it's going to be at list, and the first should be the element name. Element name is product. Next is the attribute name. Attribute name is category. Next, the attribute type, let's give it as C data, and the attribute value will be required. This is how we do it. Let's try to validate, save and validate it. Okay, already seen doc type. Okay, this is because, okay, we'll delete this line. I just try to modify the previous file. We'll make it as yes. Okay, yeah, this is valid. This is how we declare an attribute inside the DTD.